When you look at Notre Dame Prep, first time they have ever been here, the best record in their school's history, and they're led by a strong-arm quarterback in Sam Stowe.
Look at the numbers. Now, I can tell you anything I want about them, things that I've learned talking to the coaches, but those numbers really speak for themselves. When you throw for 2,500 yards in the Division V level in this state with the weather we faced each and every week, that is impressive. This kid is what you want. He's got height. He's got good length in his arm. He can get the ball down the field. He's very accurate in a short passing game. So when you look at quarterbacks, that's what you want. What this quarterback doesn't want, Shep, is what you see right here. That's Derek Simmons, 6'4", 275. Now look, that's not a fatty either. That is a lean, mean fighting machine. He comes across the ball, he will blow up offensive linemen. When the opposing coach, Coach Pat Fox, says he is the most dominant defensive player in the state of Michigan, and that's coming from the team you're going to play. He said he is a disruptor, he is a game wrecker, and we will look at these highlights here. You can see what he can do. If you don't double him, it's going to be a long day for your quarterback because he will be bringing it downhill each and every play. So Pontiac Prep is going to have a chance here today, and Notre Dame wants to come out on top. They're going to have to account for this big man inside.
Question is, when he plays at Michigan State next year, is he a defensive end or an offensive tackle?
Yes.
He's a bulldozer now on the offensive
whatever
side
he wants.
of the football. He can do whatever he wants. There's no question about it. And what we've wanted all day long is to watch this matchup. Now, we can't wait for it to get started. Notre Dame Prep and Frankenmuth battle for Division V bragging rights right after this. This special presentation of the MHSAA football finals is brought to you by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Family's not just the name of our company, but the way we do business. By your local Toyota dealer. For all Toyota offers, visit Toyota.com. And by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer. Just one loss between these two teams, Frankenmuth and Notre Dame Prep. Notre Dame Prep gets here, first trip to the finals after blowing out Flat Rock in the semifinals, 49-7. This was a Flat Rock team that averaged 43 points per game and were held to just 7 points. Prep gets a lot of love from their offense, and for good reason, but their defense has been rock solid, no pun intended, as well. Frankenmuth, in the meantime, had to avenge a demon, and they did so by beating Grand Rapids Catholic Central, avenging last year's semifinal loss and a loss to the same team back in 2021. 42-15, or 42-35 rather, was the final score there, and they are here at Ford Field, excited to see what awaits.
Hey, the Pistons, it took them years to get past the Celtics, and once they did, they became champions. Frankenmuth hopes it's the same recipe. It took them years to get past GRCC. Now they've reached the mountain. Now let's see if they get to the top today.
Phil Martin would tell you that builds something, within your program. When you finally slay that proverbial dragon, now they've got to do something no school in Frankenmuth history has ever done, and that's win a state championship. They lost to Gladwin in the finals in 2022 and lost to Grand Rapids Catholic Central in the finals in 2020 as well. Ready for the kickoff, but first we pay tribute to our colors in the United States of America and our national anthem, brought to you by the Frankenmuth Marching Band.
Remember, nothing beats good sportsmanship. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise as you are able as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem, performed this afternoon by the Frankenmuth Marching Band.
These two teams have prepared well for this moment. Their coaches have done a lot of work, but they know each other very well. For more on that, here's Natalie Nerwin.
Shep, the two head coaches in this game live 1 mile apart. It's not odd for Phil Martin, who's the head coach of Frankenmuth High School, but Pat Fox, he is from Frankenmuth. He commutes 63 miles down every single day, about an hour drive to Notre Dame Prep. He went to Frankenmuth. He's a 1983 alum. He's coached in 5 different programs for the last 35 years, and now it's his first time in the finals, and he's going to do it against his friend Phil Martin and his alum.
Both of them very proud of what Frankenmuth has stood for. And you got to give them credit for that, because Frankenmuth has a very proud program in general. So looking forward to this one. We're excited because this really is the two best. This one really does feature the two best teams in Division 5. And both coaches have played a tough schedule in order to prepare them for the postseason.
You gotta be prepared right up to start when you face Frankenmuth, because they do this little starburst kickoff, but they all get in the huddle and they kind of run at the ball, and they may kick it, but most of the time they'll just run and then they'll adjust and spread out.
Their kicker is Aiden Labissiere, and he's going to kick it away to Billy Collins or Joey DeCassis. Lavin Sr. kicks it deep, and it'll be DeCassis inside his own 10. Good scene. And a good return to about the 32-33-yard line for Notre Dame Prep. And up front, they will be blocking for that man, Sam Stowe. Strong arm, calm in the pocket, and a strong leader, Rubes.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to see it right off the get-go. This isn't a team that tries to establish the run, Shep. They're going to come out slinging the ball around the field. They have very capable running back, Billy Collins, but Sam Stowe is what makes this team go offensively.
First play of the day. Collins wrapped up right away. Rubes talked about it in the open. He was shining about Derek Simmons, and Simmons shines through on the very first play of the day.
Let's watch right here. This is the big man. He's in the clips. He just comes across and everything. Right now, the shadow comes in and just crushes the running back. That is a man, and you're going to hear a lot of him today. They're going to have to account, as we said, with the double team. If not, he is going to raise havoc the entire afternoon.
Stowe connects to Joey DeCassis for a nice gain on second down. Up front for Notre Dame Prep, it's an offensive line that averages 6'2", 209. Henry Ools and Jake Garton on the right side is where they follow. DeCassis leads the team in receiving. Collins leads it with over 1,100 yards rushing. On a 3rd down and 3. Stowe still has it. Pressure from the backside. And an incomplete attempt to Joey DeCassis. It's a 3-and-out for Notre Dame Prep to start the day.
Well, you're going to look Brady Lipka, the linebacker, number 25. Let's keep an eye on him. He's going to read it, and he's going to flow quickly with some speed. And he also got the big man chasing down as well with Derek Simmons. And good coverage on the back end. You saw Tanner Kroger in coverage, very much in phase with the receiver. So now, 3-and-out, and this is an outstanding start for the Eagles. And then we're going to look at that high-powered veer offense that Phil Martin brings into Ford Field.
Michael Wiebelhaus will kick it away. Hagen Washer is the deep man for Frankenmuth. Good kick from inside the 15-yard line. And good coverage downfield. And finally wrapped up right around the 20-yard line. Here comes Aiden Labba Sr. He is the quarterback for Frankenmuth, and he's got a pretty good balance. He can throw it and run it a little bit. They're going to go dual quarterbacks today. It's the first time that Phil Martin has ever used 2-quarterback system. You'll see Leighton Horde, who has the stronger arm of the 2 Qs, but Levin Sr. is the senior in charge of this offense to start. High-powered offense that has averaged 44 points per game in the postseason. Still has it. Lavin Sr. lunges past the 25 to the 26.
Bravo Sr. on the key.
Christian Page is the best route runner. Cash Tedford is at the other end. Washer is the guy they usually have at the tailback spot, although Kobe Key leads this team and carries up front. They average 6'2", 232. Derek Simmons is a wrecking ball on the defensive side, but also on the offensive side. The Michigan State commit is one of the best, if not the best, lineman in all the state of Michigan. On a 2nd down and 4, Lavin Sr. with a turn and a give, with not much running room there. Notre Dame Prep's defense up front. Drew Heimbuch leads them in sacks with 7. Brady Sink leads them in tackles with 127, and Joey DeCassis leads them in interceptions with 7.
3rd and 3. Ball at the Frankenmuth 27.
Now, most teams you're thinking they're probably going to throw in this situation, but Frankenmuth very comfortable in their own skin, and a run is not out of the question here.
Logan Diener is the lone setback. They go end around. Cash Tedford with a nice move. To the outside, could be gone. Needs to turn on the Jets a little bit and fumbled it. Still loose. Notre Dame Prep comes away with it. Drake Roa. Johnny on the spot. What happened there?
Well, what happened there, Shep, is he tries switching hands with the ball. And when I coach, we always told our kids never switch the hand. It's in his left. He's trying to put it in his right. And this is after you've already run about 60 yards and you're a little bit tired. Okay, bad news is you lose a chance to score on a huge play. Good news is you really flip the field, though. I mean, you know, you look at, you're pent up in your own area. So as a coach, you think, okay, settle down. We like what we did there. We're getting shortchanged on some points, but now we have them pent up. Let's play defense. Shake it off.
I like your glass half full optimism there. Stowe throws, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Incomplete pass. Knocked down by 74, Derek Simmons.
Oh, what a play, though. Cash Tedford, the 5'9", 160-pound junior, had a chance. Tried to get back inside and switching hands. The ball comes out. Now let's see this defense can keep him pent up.
2nd and 10. Little trickery. They set up a screen. A lot of room to run. Still on his feet. Down the sideline. Broke a tackle. Could be gone. He is. Billy Collins. Touchdown.
Well, what a turn of events. If you're Frankenmuth, you're running 60 yards the one way looking for a touchdown. And we're going to watch. We're going to leak them out in here for the screen. And as I talked about yesterday a lot, Shep, with you, it's not just about play calling. It's about timing. They fake the reverse. They get the flow of the defense going one way, and they come back with the screen. And then you get your athlete the ball in space. And Billy Collins, just a little bit too quick for the defenders of Frankenmuth, taking it to the house.
Extra point is good from Owen Fulsher, and Notre Dame Prep on an 87-yard screen. Billy Collins with the longest pass of the season from his buddy Sam Stowe to put Notre Dame Prep up early.
As we said before the break, what a turn of events. Frankenmuth with the big play coming down. They turn it over, and then you're going to see here, let it roll a little bit. They're going to catch him with the screen. Watch the motion coming around behind. That's a little bit of smoke and mirrors. Now pause it right in here. What you're doing, the timing is so good. And right up front is Jake Gart. You already got one block here, but watch the one of Gart. Let it go. Number 50 is going to come in white. Is going to get number 3 in red, and that's Cash Tedford. And really, that is the block that springs his play to the house. It's going to be a nice 20-yard gain, Shep, but because that block downfield by one of the big fellas who you always like, it becomes a touchdown. And wow, what an emotional swing and sudden change. Good teams handle sudden change. We know Frankenmuth's a good team. They have to face sudden change twice within 2 minutes. With the fumble when they think they're going in for points, and now they give up the touchdown. Let's see how Phil Martin rallies his troops.
8th longest touchdown catch in the history of the Michigan State football finals. We've seen a lot of records already this weekend, haven't we?
And some shattered that were set in the same weekend.
Owen Fulshire to kick it away. Frankenmuth stunned. Let's see what Cash Tedford and Hagen Washer will do about it and go out of bounds. So a second crack at it for the offense for Frankenmuth.
Red ball. Legal procedure. On the kicking team. We're going to re-kick.
You know, a lot of times you see him just mark it on the 35, but you have that option. And if you feel on the return team that you have a lot of speed, you really want to do this because this is your best opportunity to get your speed or your fast players the ball in space. There's a lot of space out there on the return game, so let's see if this pays off. If they better themselves in the 35 or they don't get to the 35.
Vulture to kick off for Notre Dame Prep.
Frankenmuth may be 13-0, but Phil Martin is proud that his team, at times this year, they've been tested. They've had to come from behind. Against Freeland earlier this year, they did it. They found a way. He says, my guys stayed calm, and they're able to come over adversity. My kids do not get rattled. So when you have a big play like that, a lot of times, especially if a team hasn't been here in a while, you might feel a little nauseous about it. Tedford on the bump, past the 30 to the 32. So took that on the fly and had a good return out of it. How about the keys to victory? Rubes, what are your cubes for Frankenmuth?
Well, for the mood, you got to make a chicken reference here, and they're like a chicken pot pie. This team has a lot of different ingredients, but they work together. When it comes out, you know what? It's pretty good.
Making me
and I always, and you know, defensively, no loose ends, and we saw it. They can't give up the big pass play. They got to do a good job stopping this receiving core of Notre Dame here today. So far, they haven't met that challenge.
Lavin Sr. is back in there under center. Tedford forward, not much there. Check that. That's Hagen Washer. This is an offense that ran for 325 yards in the first half last weekend in the semifinals. Kobe Key, number 8 in red, is directly behind Aiden Levin Sr. Gets the call and rolls forward to the 39. How about Notre Dame Prep? What's the Rubik's Cube here?
Well, it starts with Sam Stowe. You got to let him get rolling here, and if you can stow and go today, Pontiac Notre Dame Prep is in for a lot of good things. And defensively, it's all about when you're defending a veer-based team is details, details, details. We saw Martin Luther King struggle with that. They could not stop the Zeeland West Ducks in the first game, but yet here so far, Prep is doing a pretty good job of slowing down this Frankenmuth veer offense.
Logan Diener, the lone tailback. Off play action. The throw downfield and incomplete. Drake Roa on the coverage, and good coverage it was.
Oh, nice job. They're doing some play action. They get Drake Roa. He's just going to run a corner route, but look at the coverage. Excellent job. A little bit of a grab. Not too bad that time in coverage, but that is such a small window. That is a tough call for your quarterback, Shep, when you leave him not much room to put the ball. Really good coverage, not a great route per se.
4th down and 4. Again, Lavin Sr. is not just the quarterback, but he's also the punter. So defenses and special teams have to keep an eye out for that. High kick. Collins calls for a fair catch, lets it bounce, and it takes a Notre Dame hop and will be deadened at around the 43-yard line. So Notre Dame Prep doesn't have a far drive at all, and really Frankenmuth, it's not too bad, just a little bit further up I-75 north as they come here to Ford Field. Another possession here for the Notre Dame Prep Fighting Irish. 11-1 on the year. The 11 wins a school record for them. Stowe to Collins. Trying to cut it up. Frankenmuth did a good job of stringing that out. It's a tackle for loss by Brady Lipko. He's 15th of the year. He had 11 tackles in the semis last week.
You know, Shep, you called it in your call. We're going to watch a great job defensively. Guys getting flat down the line of scrimmage and stringing this out. It's like an outside zone play, and they really loaded up with that formation, but Frankenmuth really aware of it and does a nice job defending.
Loss of one. Stowe strong arms it wide of his intended receiver, Mark Galle. This is third down and long.
I love this. This is fun. Now, we get really two contrasting type of teams.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you get those games where they both are just power or veer teams or running the ball. We got a team that likes to air it out. We got a team that likes to run it in a different manner and can also throw. This sets up for a great game.
Third and long for Sam Stowe, the junior quarterback, 6'5", 200 pounds. Collins on the receiving end, well short of the first down yard marker.
Well, he was on the receiving end, all right. The receiving end of a really big hit by Rowe, I think that was, coming up and applying the pressure, knocking him out of bounds. So really good 3-and-out for this defense of Frankenmuth. They needed it because after that poor punt, they're defending a short field and they're able to get 3-and-out. So let's see if this Beer offense can get going again.
Wiebelhaus to punt it away for the second time today. Cash Tedford within his own 15 to return it. It's a good punt. Tedford called for a fair catch. Couldn't hold on to it and then regrouped and gives Frankenmuth another crack at it. Down 7-0 here at Ford Field.
We welcome everybody back in. Notre Dame Prep up 7. You know, there are players on this Frankenmuth team, on this roster, that were a part of the gut-wrenching loss in the state championships to Gladwin just 2 years ago. They lost with 12 seconds left on a field goal. It's something they haven't forgotten about. But get this, that was a rarity for them to lose, you guys, because all time in their program, they have won 3/4 of their games. And get this, in the last decade. So between 2020 to up to this point, their record is 60-5. They have only lost 5 games, if that is just crazy enough to comprehend. And the 5 games that they have lost have prevented them from getting here to the state championship. So today, they're here on a mission, guys.
28 times as a state qualifier for Frankenmuth. Something to brag about for sure. Now they will try and march down the field. 5 total drives so far in this game between the two teams, but the longest has only burned a buck and a half off the clock. Aiden Labin Sr. on the give. Actually, that's the other quarterback, Leighton Horde. He's getting a crack at the offense. Horde wears number 4 in red. He's got the stronger arm of the two quarterbacks. They'll throw it a little bit more with him. He's thrown for over 400, rushed for over 600 this season.
Shep, we gave a lot of love to the big man, Derek Simmons, on Frankenmuth. Right now, Catula, Ewells, Garten, and Heimbach are doing a wonderful job up front. That front 4 Notre Dame Prep is really controlling the line of scrimmage, and this veer is having no effect on him right now.
Second down and 10 for Frankenmuth. A toss sweep. Cash Tedford just shy of the 20. Notre Dame rolling to the ball very well. Tedford, number 3 in red. Interesting story. His name is Cash Tedford. The reason his name is Cash is because he's named after Johnny Cash. His parents named him Cash. Yes, sometimes Frankenmuth during the regular season comes out to some Johnny Cash songs.
Ooh, the man in black. Would you say the man in black and blue? This is a physical player, Chef?
I like that.
I do too.
Very much. Playing in a black and blue division home stadium. How about that? Can we extend it any more? Third down and long. Horde will throw. Rolls the pocket, dumps it underneath. Key has it, has some room up to the 25 to the 26, dragged down from behind. He was just 1 or 2 more steps away from breaking it big.
Well, this is going to be a screen as well. They invite the defenders up the field, and they're going to get the ball in the flat, and Key gets it, but look at Sink from his linebacker position. He kind of gets underneath the screen and is able to run it down from behind and make the play. And that's a huge play, because if you doesn't make that play, there's another 20 yards added on. because in that situation, Kobe Key's going to really pick up some more yards. Now, 4th down and 2. Let's see. Frankenmuth shows are going to punt here, but you never know. In today's game, we've seen a lot of fake punts, and this weekend we've seen a few.
There's the fake. Didn't fool Notre Dame Prep. Brady Sink, the man you just talked about, Rubes, was in on it, sniffed it out, stuck him, and turns it over to his offense.
Well, you see right here, it's just going to be a direct snap, and they're going to just try to run a little ISO through it. But watch the front, watch the interior in white, get the penetration, and they come from all angles. You got 3 or 4 guys in red jerseys standing there looking back at the ball carrier being tackled. That's never a good sign. And wow, Phil Martin rolls the dice and comes up craps again. That's not good. Now you're giving a short field to an offense that you know is talented.
Yeah, and they had a long way to go to convert that 4th down. Stowe off play action. Good protection. Wide open. Touchdown. What a pretty route. And a perfect throw to Michael Wiebelhaus.
All right, right here, you're going to see they're going to get out here. They're going to run Wiebelhaus right down the seam, Shep. And it's a well-thrown ball. Actually, they kind of clear with inside with Colin Whalen, and then, geez, that's a seed because the defense was pretty good. You see the safety coming over, and he just misses that by about a foot or two, just a little bit late. And when you got a quarterback like Sam Stowe, he does not give you much escape or room for error. And boy, that's costly now. You go for that fake punt, one play later, they go for the jugular, and you're down 2 scores with an offense that is not made for catching up, coming from behind. This is an offense that made to control the ball and play from front, play ahead rather. Let's see how Phil Martin adjusts to the circumstances.
23-yard dart from Stowe to Wiebelhaus, and it is now 14-0 Notre Dame Prep.
You just wonder how they're responding after those 2 sudden change plays we talked about in the beginning. A little bit of motion holds the linebackers. It brings a pass rush. You see the double on the big man, Derek Simmons, and man, that's a beautiful throw and nice job catching the ball in the hands by Michael Wiebelhaus, number 16. We knew we were going to see a game with one team throwing, one team running. Okay, we've seen that. The difference is the team throwing is having more success than the team running. And I don't know if you're Frankenmuth, if maybe they're trying to run that inside veer in the midline. You might see them try to get outside, but they will run a jet type of option as well, a jet read, where they're going to bring the man in motion all the way across. You got to try to stretch them, because right now up front, men in gold and white are winning.
Yeah, the big question, anytime you get to this championship game, if you're a predominantly running team, I always ask coaches, if you get behind, can you throw it?
Are you comfortable doing it?
And Phil Martin and Frankenmuth feel like, yeah, they can. If they have to come back, and they've done it before, but they can throw it to come back. Tedford from inside the end zone has to take the touchback. So let's see what kind of threat Frankenmuth can be here. They need to find some offensive groove. They had the big play, remember, Rubes, Cash Tedford bouncing it out to the outside, but when he tried to change hands, he fumbled it inside the red zone of Notre Dame Prep. They took over, and since that time, Frankenmuth's offense has been stuck in neutral.
We got a late substitution, Kobe Key coming in at tailback. I think he had a few helmet issues. A little different formation we're seeing here, trips to the right.
From the 20, Leighton Horde turns and gives to Key. Pick up about 3 or so. This was the big play early on by Tedford, and you see him switching hands. But maybe the gloves caused a problem there. Either way, it's a turnover, and shortly thereafter, watch this, an 87-yard screen. Stowe to Collins, and Billy Collins takes it 87 yards for the 8th longest passing touchdown in state finals history.
Yeah, and really quickly, Shep, we forgot to really give Joey DeCasas enough love on that. Look at the effort that he ran that down, and he was there when the ball was fumbled.
2nd and 7 for Frankenmuth. Horde wants to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run and pay the price. Luca Gasperoni. the senior, came up and delivered a big blow.
You're going to see good pressure. And the quarterback's going to get forced out to the side here. Let it go. And this is Leighton Horn. No, stop it right here. You look at the receivers. You got two of them here. This is where they got to work to space. They got to give this man right here an option to get the ball out. And they just stand there, and actually one goes out of bounds. You got to help your quarterback out. You see him in a scramble situation. If he's coming to you, you go away.
They could be literally covered by one guy there.
You know, and that's just something that's hard to get kids to understand. You know, you say your route is this. Well, they do that, then they stop. No, you have to be a player.
Horde will tuck it and run. Bounce to the outside, couldn't break a tackle, and is short of the first down. Lucas Catula made the tackle for Notre Dame Prep. And Frankenmuth will have to punt it away again. Notre Dame Prep's defense has done such a nice job so far against an offense that averages close to 390 yards per game overall and 42.5 points per game during the season. Higher than that in the playoffs. Robbins Sr. will punt it away on a line drive, but a fair catch made at the 43-yard line by Collins. And Sam Stowe and his offense come back out onto the field. He is a twin. His twin sister, Emma, is a really good athlete too. And according to their head coach, Pat Fox, she is the alpha of the twins. She's a basketball player, a lacrosse player, and coach says she's my favorite Stowe. But today, he needs Sam Stowe to be the alpha dog of his offense.
More than his quarterback? Come on. Come on, Coach Fox.
Out of the pistol and a 4 wide receiver set. An inside give to Collins. Turns it up. Good yardage and close to a first down.
You know, you saw what Notre Dame Prep did there, Shep, and I think that's what you're going to have to see Franklin do offensively. They just ran like a jet, real quick, get it outside, try to attack the perimeter with speed and get a few blockers in front, see if something opens up.
2nd and 1. Stowe off play action. On a slant route to Casas. He's gone. Touchdown, Notre Dame Prep.
Well, you know, it's funny. We just went back and talked about DeCasas, how he ran that play down. And here you can see what type of speed and natural fluidity he has. That's just a kind of a skinny post. But the ball is perfect, the catch is perfect, and the run after catch creates a touchdown. So they got some skill. We knew it coming in. We thought we'd see a little more of Frankenmuth offensively to kind of slow this down, keep that offense off the field. But so far, it's been all Irish.
Big play capabilities. All 3 touchdowns from Notre Dame Prep have been on big plays.
Yeah, and they have some weapons, and we're going to see another look right here. Just a quick slant, a little pump fake, and just gets in between the 2 defenders. And we know he can run. We just highlighted him on the effort he showed on that long run where Cash Tedford fumbled the ball. But once he gets the ball here, he gets a chance to get those long legs going. This foot race is not fair. And it's a pretty good play design. We're going to watch because they're going to run 2 players right inside. And you can see kind of gets in the way. That time they take number 14. That's Mark Galle. He kind of gets in the way of the safety. But, geez, he's running a post as well. And it's a beautifully designed play. Kind of comes out as a pick. But what it really comes down to is that young man right there ran a nice route. Good catch. Touchdown for Notre Dame Prep. The Irish and Notre Dame Prep, huh?
Notre Dame Prep's 3 touchdown drives, 19 seconds, 6 seconds, 32 seconds.
Seriously?
How's that grab you? Yeah. Big play.
Grabs me, Shep. Wow.
Yeah,
would you call that
this.
quick strike capability?
Yeah, I would. I mean, that stuns a team. That tests your resolve a little bit. You need a big play of your own. Tedford worked out of bounds at the 30. Remember, Notre Dame Prep is an independent, folks, so they had to put together a schedule that is rather unique. So they played a Division I team, Troy. They played Detroit Country Day. They played 3 number 1 teams in Jackson Lumen Christi and Trinity Christian and Grand Rapids Catholic Central at one point.
How'd they do against Christi?
Jackson Lumen Christi, they beat them by 4.
Wow.
Yeah. After watching them yesterday, that's something else. Their lone loss was to Hudsonville Unity Christian, the very last game of the regular season. Horde with a give. Not much doing between the guards there. That is tough sledding up front. And a nice tackle by Drew Heimbach. Heimbach, a 3-year starter, 5 in white. He and Luca Gasperoni, part of a class on defense, 6 3-year starters for them. Heimbach and Garten up front. Gasperoni and Wiebelhaus at the linebacker spot. And then Billy Collins and Joey DeCassis in the secondary. That's good balance on your defense, isn't it? 2nd down and 8. Split back for it. Behind Horde. On an option going nowhere. There's Wiebelhaus, a man we just mentioned as a 3-year starter. He's smart to it. He knew what was coming and made the tackle.
Well, if you're going to defend an option, you have to account for the early fake to the fullback, whether it's a give, and they're going to read this at the fullback. They're going to read the 5-tech, the defensive tackle. If he tackles the fullback, he's going to pull it, and that time they did. But once you do that defensively, that's taken care of. Then you have to have your linebacker take care of the quarterback, and that time they did that as well. So really good job defending all aspects. And once again, the situation Frankenmuth does not do well out of, and that's 3rd and medium to long.
What does Phil Martin dial up here? A little end around. Cutting it back. Man, Notre Dame Prep is so disciplined in their lanes and where they are supposed to be. It is impressive on what they've done defensively.
I am so surprised at how good they are up front. Their front 7. And, you talk to the coaches, you talk to both coaches, you try to get a feel for what you're going to see. And when I came out of my discussions with them, I never felt that, wow, this is a really dominating defensive front of Pontiac Prep, Notre Dame, because we're all concerned about their offense. We know what they could do, Shep, but they're good on both sides of the ball, as we just saw in that first quarter.
Pat Fox told us earlier, we've been pretty damn good the last 6 years. We just run into a little bit of buzzsaw here or there. Now, they're the buzzsaw. They're the one with the sharp edge, and they look sharp early on here on a Saturday afternoon in Detroit.
3 big plays leading to 3 big touchdowns for Notre Dame Prep. There might have been a Detroit Lion that's helped out this Notre Dame Prep team with a couple of tips and tricks. That would be Jameer Gibbs. He held a summer camp this year at Notre Dame Prep, teaching about 500 kids football fundamentals. He had guys on this varsity squad helping him out as assistant coaches, shagging balls and helping the kids out at camp. There were kids around 6 to age 16 that were there. Jameer really interacting with them. Guys telling me they had a lot of fun with him, and he'd be pretty proud of this performance here today, being up 21-0, Shep.
You bet. Maybe he had a little hand in it, and Notre Dame Prep will take it. How cool would that be as Frankenmuth moves early to have one of the best players.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
On the best team in the NFL come to visit you. That'd be awesome.
Well, Frankenmuth has their own special visitor every year. That's Santa. Have you ever been up there? But right now they need a present. They need a gift, something to spark this team, and they're facing another 4th down. And they're in a punting situation. And once again, punting deep in your own territory.
Are you saying Notre Dame is playing the Grinch? Is that what you're saying?
Ooh, they are definitely right now. And I think every fan of Notre Dame Prep is fine with that.
Levin Sr. will kick it away. And down at the 42-yard line of Notre Dame Prep. Here's the schedule that this Notre Dame Prep team played. And it's really tested or given them the test that they needed. But you see the gaudy numbers on the left side of your screen. 42 points per game during the year. They didn't score anything lower than 28 points in a game. They've upped that, by the way, to 50 points per game in the postseason. I mean, you win a semifinal 49-7. That's saying something.
Only challenge was the Division 6 champs.
Stowe trying to set up a screen and wisely throws it into the ground. Frankenmuth wise to it. Good defense that time by Frankenmuth.
Well, they tried having lightning strike twice because we saw him scoring that same type of screen early in the game. That time was sniffed out quicker by Frankenmuth. The linebackers, Jake Bennett and Brady Lipka, did a good job of getting over there and getting in the mix of it. And also a nice job by the quarterback, Sam Stowe. Not every play is a touchdown, not every play is a completion. Sometimes you just throw it away and live to fight another day.
Stowe will throw. Plenty of time. Throws on the run. Caught. Up close to midfield. The pitch and catch connection for the first time today to Brody Sink.
Well, we're going to take a look at this. This is a nice job, and this is just a little release. You're going to see Brody Sink's going to be lined up to the right, and he's just going to leak out like he's going across, and then he spins back out, number 7 in white. You can see that. So good job. And what I like is it almost looks like it was a scramble. It was a short roll by the quarterback. A really well-designed play.
3rd down and 3 for Notre Dame Prep. Stowe still has it. Cuts it back. That's a 1st down carry for the quarterback.
So he knows Sam Stowe can throw. Now we know he can run a little bit as well. I don't think Coach Fox is going to call his number a ton. Not when you have a quarterback that's kind of lanky in the pocket like that and can deliver the ball with his arms so well. You don't want to put him in harm's way. But that time you need a 1st down and you utilized him.
Learned a little something last year playing as a backup quarterback behind an all-state signal caller. And he's picked up where he left off. Rolls to his left now. Pressure comes from Simmons. Stowe feels it and picks up 3 or 4.
Quarterback keep by Stowe.
Now, if you're a quarterback, this is what's going to screw you up. Watch this. They're going to pull a couple guys the opposite way, even though Stowe's going to go out here. Watch this. Watch the offensive linemen. They pull, they get out, they kind of seal backside. So it looks like a run play initially if you're a linebacker trying to read your keys. Instead, it's a rollout. I think it was going to be a pass, right? I mean, that's not a design bootleg, I don't think, all the way, like a naked boot. So kind of neat design offensive with that line play.
On a 2nd down call, an end around. To the edge. And close to another 1st down. Good move by Frankenmuth's defense. Really up front, we've talked a lot about Derek Simmons, and for good reason. Not just a great football player, but a great student. Carries a 4.1 grade point average. Had a 1,400 on the SATs. Could get an academic scholarship to most places, but will go on an athletic scholarship to MSU. And he is up for the Saginaw County Hawkins Award. He wants to be an insurance actuary. Do you know what that is? That's a guy who studies a lot of data analysis.
Yeah, a lot of data analysis about risk.
Yes, good call. Blitz comes. Stowe feels it, moves away, tosses to the last read, and that should be close to another 1st down. He finds Colin Whalen for the first time today, and another nice gain for Notre Dame Prep.
Okay, you remember how I showed you how the Frankenmuth receivers did not help out their quarterback?
Yeah.
Watch this. This is Whalen right here. He's going to pass pro. He's going to hit. Then he releases late, and he sees his quarterback in trouble. He presents himself in the flat. It gives him a check down. So a really nice job by Whalen becoming a football player when the play breaks down.
Well, tight ends will do that. You know that. Stowe, a pump fake. Wants it all. Corner of the end zone. And it is
Tanner.
Incomplete.
Ooh, Tanner Kroger does a great job. If we get a look at this, wonderful job by Tanner Kroger. This is a little double move. You're going to see a pump. You're going to see a little shoulder. You see how they dip the shoulder, then they come back over the top, throw in the corner. Really timed out well. It punches the ball out. That is a top-notch, higher-level play we just saw in Division V football by Tanner Kroger, because that was a wonderful throw. Wow, what a great play. That saves you a touchdown there. Took a shot, 2nd and short, though. Now you can see him 3rd and 2 or 3.
It's 4-down territory anyway.
Right.
Stowe, that's a delayed snap. And that could be illegal motion on the part of Notre Dame Prep.
Ball start on the center. 5 yards.
Actually,
Repeat 3rd down.
Actually, it's probably not on the center. He just didn't snap the ball. But the official's right. I think that's always on the center. Usually they pick a lineman and blame them who left early. But it's when 6 guys go and the center doesn't go, yeah, we're going to have to give credit to Logan Tuttle. Yeah, everyone's going except for Logan's a little bit slow on the draw, snapping the ball. But the way he's blocked so far, you can live with one little mistake early on here. But now it changes the complexion. Now you're looking at a passing down from a third down and short.
I think they want to reset the game clock. They do. Put 25 seconds on it. And here we go.
Timeout. Prep, that's their first.
Notre Dame Prep will talk things over. They're staring at a 3rd down and 7 when we come back. Up 21-zip because of big plays. 87, 23, and 47 yards to build a 3-TD lead. Don't forget to catch the Pistons taking on the Philadelphia 76ers later on tonight. Coverage begins at 6:30 with the Pistons live, and then the call with Johnny Kane and Greg Kelser at 7 o'clock. That's Pistons and Sixers tonight from Little Caesars Arena. Big win for them last night against Indiana. They're 3-0 in the NBA Cup. Good to see Cade Cunningham back healthy. He's been awesome so far this year. Notre Dame Prep has been awesome so far here today. On a 3rd down and 7 and an empty set for Sam Stowe. Inside give. Collins to the outside, cuts it back and gets to the 25, maybe the 24-yard line. Might be a little shy of the 1st down, but really puts his offense in really good shape. Billy Collins has had himself a nice day offensively so far.
Yeah, Pat Fox and his staff really got me there. I said with the formation there's going to be some type of pass play. Instead, they just run a jet sweep to Billy Collins, and he does a nice job of stretching it and finding a seam and getting north and south. Now 4th and 1. They pounded inside.
Yep.
Oh, he might not make
it. Stowe had to pick it up and falls on it at the 30-yard line. That's a stop for Frankenmuth, and maybe that's the momentum they need.
Well, you need something. You need somebody to make a play, and just great pressure inside, and you have the wall of number 74. Derek Simmons creates a wall. Running back bounces into it, then the ball comes out. What a good job defensively. You see Simmons in there mixing up. Also Carson Beauvais getting in there as well. Really good. They needed something, Chef. As you said, they needed a spark. Someone needed to make a play. Now, this offense was still 9:35 and a half. This is, you don't say it's a big drive this early game, but it really is. You need to get some points. You're down 21-0. You need to get some points of nothing more than confidence for this team and this offense to start to believe in what they do.
Yeah, you only have 92 yards of total offense, and a lot of it came on one play. Cash Tedford on the end around. Got a nice stock block on the outside to get past the 40, and that's a 1st down run. Check that. That was Kobe Key, not Cash Tedford.
Yeah, we talked, Shep, about, I said they need to try to attack wide. They tried it off tackle. They tried the inside veer. It's not working. Well, then hit him with the jet. And that time they didn't. They got Tedford to the edge. He made a nice play early on the fumble, as you said, when he bounced it to the edge. But he seems like he's their home run hitter with his speed.
So 1st and 10 for Frankenmuth, trying to build on that. First place out of the Tri-Valley Red Conference. Horde keeps it himself. He's drilled at the 44-yard line. Popped pretty good on the backside from Drew Heimbuch, who is considered this team's best tackler, number 5 in white.
Gain of 2 yards, 2nd and 8.
That hole closed, didn't it, Chef? I thought it was going to be something there. They faked the jet motion that time, and quarterback Horde kept it. But that closed quickly. You said Heimbuch really squeezed it and was physical on the tackle.
Tedford in motion. Horde will follow him. Heimbuch is there again. And he'll bring up a 3rd down situation for Frankenmuth.
Well, now you're 3rd and 4. And you start thinking ahead, okay, let's say we get a couple, 3 here. I think you're in 4-down territory, even though you're only near midfield. You just can ill afford to give that offense the ball back right now. You need to establish your run game and really try to control this ball a little bit. And as I said earlier, right now, your kids are starting to question themselves. It happens in a game like this. You're in a championship, like, oh, we did all this, we got here. Are we good enough? Well, you need to show them here, and someone needs to make a play, continue this drive, and put some points.
Frankenmuth 0 for 4 on 3rd down so far today. End around, Tedford stumbles his way for a pickup of maybe 1. That brings up 4th and short. Let's see what they do.
You're going. it looks like Pontiac or Notre Dame Prep rather is too quick defensively. Those plays look like there's something there, and then when they get to the hole, it just squeezes on them.
Yeah.
They really do a nice job. Those linebackers, you talked about Gasperoni and Sink and Wiebelhaus, they really come down, and you got defense in like Katula and Heimbuch. These are guys that can play. We didn't talk enough. I mean, I feel guilty on my preparation.
On a 4th down, Horde will keep it himself.
You got her.
Should be enough to move the chains.
Leighton Horde on the keeper.
Nice job. They motion the running back Cash Tedford, and he kind of leads through. But coming off the edge, doing a nice job was Billy Collins, number 4. Watch him come off and really squeeze out and get on the legs and kind of have Horde stumble, but he's able to reach out and move the chain. So, nothing's easy right now. When your offense is struggling, it seems like, man, everything we do, we have to work so hard to get a first down. This is like offsides.
That's one of those ones where Phil Martin was holding his breath a little bit. There's a tackle for loss. Wiebelhaus done a nice job all day long, both offensively and defensively.
We're going to take a look here. Watch 16 is going to come into your picture, just shoots through on the right side, beats the block, and that's what it's all about, winning the one-on-one battles, and you ultimately win the war, Shep. And that time Wiebelhaus won the battle against the blocker. He gets penetration. Now you put him behind the chain.
And he's a one-glove guy, but not on purpose, just because the other glove they don't make big enough to cover up that cast on his left thumb.
Yeah. You think he wants to play in the state championship game?
He's caught a touchdown pass as well as made some big tackles already. That's Dan Campbell's grit that you love to see. Speaking of that touchdown reception, here it is right here from 23 yards away. That seam route with a cast, no problem.
You look at that now, since I know that, he catches it really with his right hand and kind of just guides it with the cast.
Nothing's keeping you away from a state championship game, is it? No way. Playing through it, you love to see it. It's 3rd down and 10. Leighton Horde, the 6'3", 180-pound junior at quarterback. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The pressure coming from Brody Sink. He picks up his 8th sack of the year.
Well, plays break down when players break down, and Logan Diener, we're going to see. We're going to watch right here. They're going to motion to bring some protection over. See 24 Diener in red comes in motion, but he just over pursues. And that time, Sink just shoots off the center. And I don't know if Diener went too far. It seems like if he didn't go too far in his motion, then there's some miscommunication at offensive line, because someone's got to block the 7 Brody Sink coming in there, because that's just too easy.
I love the sledgehammer celebration too. Fair catch at the 25. Frankenmuth thought they had a little momentum, and then it was squashed. Brody Sink made sure of that. He brought the kitchen sink to Frankenmuth's offense. And now a message from your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
This special presentation of the MHSAA Football Finals is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Now, everyone has been to Frankenmuth a time or two, either to get Zender's chicken, maybe play a little golf, even go to the famous Bronner's Christmas store. Well, there's actually a Zender on this roster. I want to introduce you to Charlie Zender. He is a direct descendant of William and Emily Zender. They're the original founders of Zender's restaurant back in the 1800s. Now, ownership has changed a little bit over the years. Charlie's dad, Al, is actually the current CEO. Then I want to introduce you to another Zender on this football team, Blake Zender as well. He actually has no direct relation to the Zender's restaurants. There's just so many Zenders in town in Frankenmuth. They pretty much run mid-Michigan. So what's funny too, the Bavarian Inn, if you guys have heard of that as well, another staple in the town of Frankenmuth, they're also owned by another half of the Zenders family. So moral of the story, the Zenders are the most powerful family in the state of Michigan.
I don't know, but if I was a Zender, I sure wouldn't look that good. I'd be about 350.
I'll have another plate full. Thank you very much. Stowe on a screen. DeCassis, nice stiff arm. Past the 35 and then lowers the boom to get to the 40-yard line. Rubes, you know a thing or two about chicken. And at Zender's, in a flashback when we took us there, you ate all of this.
Man, I was looking spelt before I went in there, though. This was good, though. Well, hey, when I left, there was nothing on that plate. I cleaned my plate. I was raised to do that.
Yeah, and you know what, folks? You hear a every once in a while when he's eating. Trust me when I tell you that.
Hey, that rubbed off. I heard Lisa's complain about that to me. Your wife says that you now do.
That is so true.
Oh, there's a lot of.
I can't tell you how many times I get it. Would you stop doing a Rubick, please?
Yeah, there's a lot of going on that sideline for Notre Dame Prep right now. Everything they do is turning to gold like their pants.
And they've stayed hungry on every drive. 2nd down and 7. Stowe throws, and it is caught. Spun around, broke the tackle, down the sideline. And then to the 27-yard line is Mark Galle. 2nd catch of the day for Galle.
Well, the first thing you're going to show here, let's watch the replay, is the arm strength. Getting the ball out quickly and gives Galle time, and then a couple missed tackles by Frankenmuth. One was Lipka. But what I also noticed in that play is the protection. The time he had, that offensive line, we haven't been given enough love to. We talked about the skill players. Skill players only skill when the offensive line gives time.
Yeah, I know it's not lost on you, and it's not lost on Pat Fox either. When I ask him about his offensive line, sure, he talks about Garton and Ools on the right side, but he says, look, we don't have a lot of big kids, but not many of our kids are heavy either. They're all flat-bellied kids, and they're really tough and good. And they have shown that here again today. Stowe stands tall. He's got a man wide open. Collins has his 2nd of the day. Ooh, they are lethal, aren't they?
They are, and they have some really neat play designs. You're going to see this when we get a look. Billy Collins does a nice job. He kind of motions out, and he's going to come. Let's watch number 4. Let's let it roll. He's going to go in, and once again he comes back out, and then he looks like he's going to wheel, and he cuts underneath it. And just right down the seam. What a nice job. See what I'm saying when I say wheel shot? I mean, it looks like he's going to try to get outside the defender and work the sideline, but instead he just dips underneath him and uncovered. And if you're uncovered in this offense, like Billy Collins was, Sam Stowe will find you.
Good job handling the low snap by the holder there for Notre Dame Prep, and that is Ashton Gust. And Notre Dame Prep has looked really impressive. So Pat Fox, his coaching career has been decorated first in Frankenmuth. Saginaw Arthur Hill went up to Northern Michigan University as an assistant. Ortonville Brandon came down to Berkeley for a little bit in Metro Detroit, went to Ann Arbor Pioneer, then Milford on a couple of different stints before settling in at Notre Dame Prep.
Well, and you look at right here, career coaching bout. This is a career high school football coach. You can tell with the movement he's done over the years, he's been chasing this championship, this title. And right now, he is such a wonderful fit with Notre Dame Prep with what his offense does and his design. He's got the weapons he needs. You always hear the people talk about the Lions. Boy, Ben Johnson has all these toys to play with. Well, he's got some toys. You look at DeCasas, the receiver, Billy Collins, running back, Stowe, the quarterback, and then you get a very, as you talk, a flat belly, tough physical offensive line. What fun that must be coaching this team.
Helps to have a quarterback who can sling it a little bit. Stowe right now 10 for 15, 255 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Owen Fulcher for the kickoff.
That tells the story, doesn't it? Look at the average yards per play.
That's one that's tough. 2 first downs only for a team that just lives and dies with ball control and controlling the first downs in the game. And wow, and ending drives with touchdowns, and they just, 2 first downs. I mean, you don't have the ball. Your defense is out there.
22 is Josh Warren.
But it's all about what the game planning of Pat Fox and his coaching staff for Notre Dame Prep. They've done a great job. They've watched a lot of film. This is Pat Fox is no stranger. He lives up in that area, but he understands what the veer offense is, and if you can blow it up at the point of attack, the mesh points, and get penetration, you can break it down before it can get going.
The interesting thing about these two teams, Rubes, is that they started really at the beginning of the season. They scrimmaged each other in the preseason. It got a little physical. It got a little chirpy as they go to the end around. And walking off the field, it was a bit of a stare down. Both teams felt like they thought they would see one another again. Lo and behold, they are on the biggest stage.
Well, it's one of those situations, too. If you ever go 7-on-7, we know what this is going to turn out. 7-on-7, obviously, Pontiac or Notre Dame Prep is going to come out on top. And that's if you're Frank, you say, okay, we'll give you that, but when we meet in the regular season, you're going to have to defend the run game as well. But they've done a really good job of that.
Second and short for Leighton Horde. Turn and the give, and a first down carry there for Kobe Key. Leads this team in rushing, in attempts and yards. And now a message from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Family is not just our name, it's the way we do business.
My father chose the name Family Heating because he wanted our company to treat everyone like family. You'll see the difference family makes.
Not many first downs for Frankenmuth, but they're able to move the chains here on this possession. 1:42 remaining in the half.
You're going to have to try some play action, take a shot in the passing game, because you're not going to have enough time to run the ball down the field with 3-4 yards of carry.
Logan Diener on the carry.
Ball carrier is Logan Diener. 16, Michael Wiebelhaus, by number 8.
Can't stress enough how impressive this performance is defensively for Notre Dame Prep. This is a Frankenmuth team that scored 73 touchdowns this year. 56 on the ground. Key in motion. Horde keeps it himself. Found an opening, lowered the shoulder, and that's a nice, gritty, tough, hard-nosed first down run.
It is, Shep, but this is what comes into play right there.
Yep.
There's 56 seconds. You see Frankenmuth a burn a timeout. That'll leave them with a couple.
Timeout, Eagles. That's their first of the half.
But this is a situation that's so tough when you're one of these option teams, Shep. When you run the ball and you're a 4 or 5 yard guy, it's tough to get down the field in high school. That clock goes quickly.
Hey, there's always help wanted when it comes to high school athletics game officials. Every year, more than 1,000 new officials are needed across dozens of MHSAA sports. Signing up is easy. To become a registered high school game official, visit MHSAA.com today. Officials done a nice job all weekend long. We appreciate all the officials in every sport, not just football, but every single sport, and how they stay involved in youth athletics. Appreciate that. Robert Blair is in charge of this crew here today, and they've done a nice job.
Yeah, outstanding job, and you don't even know they're out there. That's what I think. A good refereeing crew, officiating crew, is when the game is done, you're like, oh, were there refs here today? Now, obviously, it helps you play clean and not hold and make a bunch of apparent penalties, but really good job. Game has good flow, and it's really better for not just for the players, but for the fans and everyone involved.
Well said. First and 10 for Frankenmuth. Fakes the toss, sets up the screen. Key's got it. Nice block from Simmons. Good run after the catch to get to the 40-yard line.
It is a good tackle, and the reason that's important is it's 2 yards short. They're not going to stop the clock to move the chains because it's not a first down, and they're going to be forced, they being Frankenmuth, to use their second timeout.
Eagles, second of the half.
I like these views we get with the handheld camera on the sideline. It comes right at you. The release is into the flat. Key does a good job, and you can see the big man Simmons out in front gets a good block. But once again, when you got red shirts, when you're on the red team standing by the pile on the tackle looking at the guy down, you got to find a color coming in, a white shirt, and make some contact. Give Key a better chance to make a big play.
Now the big play made by Luca Gasperoni, one of the best players on this Notre Dame Prep team, closing in on 100 tackles for the year, and a guy who now has 7 tackles in the game, more than anybody else. Heimbuch and Wiebelhaus each with 6 to lead the way, behind Gasperoni's 7 now. No coach would say it's a perfect half, but Notre Dame Prep offensively and defensively have clicked pretty well. I don't know how much more you could ask if you're Pat Fox, the head coach of Notre Dame Prep.
Just to put a tag on your Gasperoni there, his cousin Sante Gasperoni, quarterback at De La Salle, another really good team that actually beat the state champion that we called yesterday, Division II. Orchard Lake St. Mary's lost to De La Salle during the course of the year.
That must be a hearty gathering around the holidays. when those two get together. Not much food left on the table. Nice throw. Tedford almost broke the tackle. Couldn't. Billy Collins made the ankle grab to bring him down after the first down catch.
Billy Collins really doing double duty here today. Effective in the run game, in the screen game, and also in the secondary, making tackles when if he doesn't get him, it could be Tedford dancing into the end zone. Good job getting up on the ball. First down, you got to spike it. Still 32 seconds. We really haven't seen Frankenmuth with any success throwing the ball vertically. It's been the screen game, back out of the backfield, the little short stuff. And it's just because they're not versed in it. They haven't had to do that. And you made a great observation earlier when you talked to the coaches. Are you comfortable? Do you think you can do it? And they'll say, yeah, but I guarantee deep down they're saying, we don't want to have to try, though.
2nd and 10. An out pattern off the fingertips of Cash Tedford. Boy, Tedford last week against Grand Rapids Catholic Central, 10 for 147. Those were big numbers. He's been quieted here today.
What else has been quiet with the defensive side of the ball for Frankenmuth is Derek Simmons, and that's because they're doubling him, they're protecting, they're getting the ball outside enough in the passing game where it's really slowed him down. And obviously when you're down 28-0, it's got to take a little bit of wind out of your sails if you're a two-way player in that pit.
Frankenmuth looking for their first 3rd down conversion of the day. 0 for 6, blitz comes. Horde throws, no one's there.
Grounding, that's a flag.
Yep.
You don't usually see the intentional. Usually they kind of look around. I think that flag hit the ground before the ball did on the pass. And it's the correct call.
Yes.
There was a jailbreak coming in front, just pressure right down the face of Horde.
Intentional grounding. Offense. 5 yards from the spot. Loss of down.
4th down for Frankenmuth.
Yeah, I think the official, the white hat, may have misspoke there a little bit. He said 5 yards from the spot. I think it's just a spot. In other words, where quarterback lets the ball go. That's where the ball is marked. It is a loss of down. And we're going to see him take a shot. Just too much pressure too quickly on that last play. And you know what else? Because this game is getting lopsided, Laba Senior, who's your better veer quarterback, a little bit quicker, a little more shifty, it takes him out of the equation. Now you're trying to throw the ball as you bring Horde in. And this is against a team that is no stranger to defending the pass. Because when you play a diverse schedule like they do during the year, they be in Notre Dame Prep, you're going to see some teams that throw the ball.
Frankenmuth had some tests along the way to a 13-0 record. You see how dominant they truly were during the season. The Freeland test was tight, and then beating Goodrich to start the year is really impressive.
Really shocks me. Yeah, after watching both teams. Yeah, I went to I went to here. I went to the 21, the Freeland game at. I'm sorry, no, I'm getting my teams mixed up. That was Goodrich. I watched play Freeland. In the playoffs, Shep, I was trying to go somewhere every week, like you were, just trying to watch as many teams as we could. And I watched Goodrich and Freeland, and when Goodrich got here, Tom Allward's team, I thought, that is a good physical football team. And the fact that Phil Martin beat him early in the year, that really stuns me from what I've seen here. Yeah, and that's when Coach Martin said we knew we had some. It's a pretty strong indicator playing them and showing the type of mental toughness we had to beat a really good Goodrich team. They'll swing it out. Cash Tedford with a shoulder shake. Doesn't matter. Wiebelhaus was there for his 7th tackle, and Frankenmuth will turn it over on downs. Well, now if you're Notre Dame Prep, you take a shot. Why not? I mean, you got DeCasas, the big, tall, lanky, speedy, 6'2", 6'2" receiver. Maybe give him a shot down the field. Yeah, Colin Whalen is 6'6". Drake Roa is 6'3". Why not? You also have 2 timeouts if you want to burn them. So don't think you can't use the middle of the field. They've had big plays all day long. Empty set for Sam Stowe.
It's just an out pattern. Caught by Drake Roa. 14 seconds remaining. We'll look at the 6 crown champions so far this weekend. 4 yesterday, 2 already today. We're going to celebrate 100 years of the MHSAA and 50 years of football finals, and we'll hear from both head coaches as well. Trips to the left for Sam Stowe. Deep drop, out and incomplete. Intended there for Billy Collins. Good coverage by Jake Bennett, the middle linebacker for Frankenmuth, to bring up 3rd down. 10 seconds left. And this is where a lot of people just take a knee here. What's the point? But we'll see.
Well, I'm curious to see what these coaches, I like to, see what they're going to say at halftime. We're not going to have that luxury. They both wanted the privacy. They chose not to have a camera in there. But if you're Phil Martin, I don't know what you say in this situation. Obviously, Pat Fox is going to say, hey, a lot of good things we did. We're real pleased with this. Let's tweak this a little bit. But Phil Martin's one's going to have a tough task at hand, trying to motivate this team and give them some sunshine, something to hang their hat on to come out here in the second half and try to turn the tide.
Yeah, these kids who have known each other most a long time, coming through elementary school, youngers and brothers and sisters of former players, really good students, but best of friends, have really done a nice job of hanging together today and making sure that they leave no proverbial stone unturned. Notre Dame Prep, very impressive in the first half. Their big play capability has been on display, and their head coach, Pat Fox, is with Natalie Nerwin.
Coach Fox, how impressed are you with this start?
Well, we're playing a great team, and we got to continue on. We got to keep playing great defense against their run game and keep doing the things we're doing. They're getting the ball to start the second half. Most important possession of any game is that first possession.
Yeah, Frankenmuth has not converted on 3rd down today. I mean, what kind of mission is your defense on?
We have a lot of good players over there, but they're very talented. They're going to come out fighting.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Shep?
Pat Fox told me he played as a kid for Ralph Munger. Munger helped him become a better person, put him on the right path. His team is on the right path. They're up 28-0 at the half in the Division 5 state championship game at Ford Field.
Notre Dame Prep up 28-0 here in the Division 5 state final here at Ford Field. Well, you guys, this is the 100th anniversary of the Michigan High School Athletic Association. They've been overseeing prep sports across the state of Michigan for that long, and this is the 50th year of the high school state finals, you guys. Whether they have been played in Mount Pleasant or Pontiac here in Detroit, there are so many memories we can think back of over the years of all of these finals and all the championships that have been celebrated, and our very own Matt Shepard takes us back and reflects on them.
We're back here once more, together, turning onto Brush Street, just past the Gem Theater and Courthouse. It's not an introduction, but an annual reunion. An anniversary for some. But always, it's a celebration for the kids walking out of the tunnel. It's a time to remember and mark the layering of those memories. 100 years have passed since the birth of the MHSAA, and 2024 marks the 50th football state finals. 50 since Ishpeming stunned Hudson in Mount Pleasant. 43 since John Harrington won title #1. 30 since Lapeer walked it off in overtime.
It's over. Lapeer wins.
20 since Rockford went back-to-back. 10 since Donnie Corley pulled in a miracle.
Touchdown, King!
And 5 years since we learned the name Brady Road.
Touchdown!
It's a chance to see 8 schools bring home the dream of a state title and celebrate all the ones that came before. It all happens on Brush Street, Thanksgiving weekend, and high school football, where we gather to renew, reconnect, and rediscover the magic once again. Welcome home.
Rice, under one. Yes! It is there. Jackson's got it, and he's headed to the end zone.
Travis Smith, touchdown, Ithaca.
3 straight championships.
Oh, extra year. Brady, touchdown.
It is one to remember in Clarkston.
The Flying G's of Gladwin have won their first state championship game.
What an incredible look, you guys, at the last 50 years. This is actually year 20 of the finals here at Ford Field. We have crowned 6 champions. We got 2 more to go tonight, so don't go anywhere. We're here, Division 5 state final between Notre Dame Prep and Frankenmuth. They're up 28-0, and they're rolling. The Notre Dame Prep band getting ready, helping the team come out here at halftime. You guys stick around. We'll be right back.
Plenty of champions crowned already this weekend. We start in Division 8. Running back Drew Block rushed for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Beale City defeated Riverview. Gabriel Richard, 42-14 the final. It was the Aggies' 3rd ever state championship. This one coming in Division 8.
Coach Gross done a great job taking over the helm at Beale City. Another championship goes north of Mount Pleasant, Shep.
In Division 4, second game of the weekend, running back Chase Burnett rushed for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns, leading Goodrich to a 35-6 win over Niles. It was Goodrich's first ever state championship.
And congratulations, Lifetime Achievement Award for Coach Tommy Allward of the Goodrich Martians. He's been in the business for years, gets his first championship. Good man.
In Division 6, Cadell Williams, 56-18. Jackson Lou and Christie left no doubt who the best team in the state was in this division. He set an MHSAA state finals record with 314 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns, leading the Titans and their head coach Herb Brogan to a record-setting 14th state championship.
And Herb Brogan leaves no doubt why. He's going to be on my Mount Rushmore of high school football coaches in the state of Michigan.
In the nightcap on Friday night, Orchard Lake St. Mary's beat Byron Center 35-19. Running backs Darren Jones and Bryson Williams led the way with a combined 290 yards and 4 touchdowns en route to the Eaglets' 9th state title.
Ooh, and how about Jermaine Gonzalez, the head coach, bringing a physicality and a little bit of deception back to Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who's been a little bit predictable the last few years. They were predictable this year.
One was a player and as a head coach. First game of this day on this Saturday, Millington won their first state title, beating Monroe St. Mary Catholic Central 24-zip. In the Division 7 final, the Cardinals rushed for 180 yards and 3 scores while holding the Falcons to just 131 total yards of offense.
Coach Jermaine, did a great job with defensively, Shep. That's where we were super impressed, the way they were able to stop that high-powered option offense of Monroe St. Mary's.
And then in Division 3, Rubes, we saw another state championship game record get broken. Zeeland West Keaton Hendricks accounted for 6 total touchdowns and 155 total yards as the Ducks blew out Detroit Martin Luther King 42-22.
I'll tell you what, King realizes that this Zeeland West team are no quacks. They are for real. The Ducks pile up the points. Another championship. What a great morning it was. That was a very entertaining game to watch because every play seemed like to go for a touchdown.
Selfishly, we like close games. But you got to admit, I mean, the teams that are on the upper hand here in these blowouts have had some incredible, impressive performances, not just individually, but a number of them.
And we got one yet to come, Shep, and you and I get to call that one. It's going to be a dandy. Let's hope, huh? We keep saying that. Sooner or later, we're going to be right.
Cass Tech against Hudsonville. Frankenmuth needs to come back in the second half to make this one a dandy. They're down 28-zip. Our halftime highlights are brought to you by Wallside Windows. Frankenmuth had a big play from Cash Tedford, a 49-yard run, but he fumbled it away. Soon thereafter, Notre Dame Prep went to work. Stout to Collins on a screen pass, 87 yards, 8th longest in a state championship game, and it was 7-0. Then Notre Dame Prep, off stopping with a fake punt, Stowe to Wiebelhaus on a seam route. 23 yards away, it was 14-zip. Shortly thereafter, Stout to DeCassis, a 47-yard pitch and catch after a 32-second time of possession to make it 21-0. And then before the half, it was Sam Stowe to Billy Collins again, 25 yards away. This one capped off a 5-play, 75-yard drive and took a long time, 1 minute and 44 seconds. They lead at 28-zip, Roots.
Yeah, and the stats pretty much tell the story. The inability to throw the ball when you get down is really biting Frankenmuth right now. The rushing yards, 114. I know it sounds okay for some teams, but when your whole offense is predicated on running the football, that is not acceptable.
The time of possession, once again, we talk about this stat, how it means absolutely nothing.
Right.
It's not how long you have it, Shep. It's what?
It's what you do with the football. And look at those big plays by Notre Dame Prep, the reason they're up 28-0. What does Phil Martin, the head coach of Frankenmuth, do now? Well, Natalie Nerwin had a chance to talk to him about it. Natalie?
Yeah, I asked Coach Martin, what'd you tell your guys here at halftime in the locker room? He said, you know what, I kept it really simple. We just have to keep playing. This is a game of 4 quarters. We have 2 more left. We're a tough team. There's a reason we got here. We can go show it out there, but we really have to come out on this first drive here and get something going, guys.
Yeah, Phil Martin says we talk about 1 play, 1 prep, 1 game every single time. And that's what they're going to have to do. But they need it on both sides of the ball. It's not just moving the football into the end zone. They've got to stop Notre Dame Prep too. And doing both at the same time has been challenging.
And that's a great point, Matt, is the fact that it's hard enough to try to score 28 points and a half in high school football against a team that's at Ford Field in the state championship game. But in doing so, you also have to stop them from scoring. Because if they get a touchdown here, 1 touchdown in this whole second half, now you got to get 35 points. So it's a tall order. You're going to have to be more effective offensively. You're going to have to create some turnovers. You're going to have to get some short fields, some extra possessions if you want to make a comeback.
This one means a 7th team will be crowned state champion. After this, it's the Division I state championship. It's the finale featuring Cass Tech, Hudsonville. Kickoff shortly after this one, right around 7 o'clock or so. We'll be on the call for that one. Looking forward to it, but also looking forward to a good second half here at Ford Field in Division 5. Tedford fumbled it for a moment. Gets it to the 19 before being pushed backwards. Frankenmuth almost in that position, Rob Rubick, where you got to score every time you got the football.
Yeah, unless you create some turnovers, get some extra possessions that we were talking about. If not, you really have, and you can't Pac-Man this, and this is their MO. They score, but a lot of times they work their way down the field in 12, 14 play drives. That's not going to be effective for the fact that the game will end. There's not enough time to do that. So you got to open things up if you can open things up in this veer off option offense.
Aiden Levin Sr. is back at the helm. Played the first quarter at quarterback, and then Leighton Horde came in the second quarter. Levin Sr. will run it. Found a seam. Wiggles his way past the 30 to about the 32.
Well, that's why we talked in the first half when they went with the Horde. When they got down, they started trying to throw the ball. It takes Laba Sr. out of the game, and now you bring him back in, and it gives you a little more effectiveness in the run game and his quickness and his shiftiness. And they found a seam, though. It was actually the offensive line made a crease. He exploited it.
Elijah Winberg and Jake Bennett on that left side of the offensive line did a nice job there. Now they shift Derek Simmons on an extended line on the left side. They run there again. Levin Sr. got to the 35 before being dropped.
Brody Sinkin on the side.
Now, we didn't see, but what happened was they took 2 players on the left, and they got 4 bodies here. They're just trying to flank you, and they just get numbers at the point of attack. And Notre Dame Prep doing a pretty good job of trying to keep it balanced. But you'll see they'll have 4 to 5 people on one side of the ball. Now they're shifting back.
Second down and long. Levin Sr. wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
You've seen a lot of shifting and a lot of motion by this Frankenmuth offense, but no problem in understanding and getting a line defensively. This is a well-coached defense. When teams shift in motion like that all the time, Chef, defensively, it puts a lot of pressure on your players to have their alignment, to have gap integrity, to keep the assignment, say no, because all of a sudden the line shifts. But this is very well-coached defense. You're having no problem being in position to make plays.
3rd down and 6 for Frankenmuth. They have struggled on 3rd downs all day long. Fake the toss. They set up a screen. Notre Dame does a nice job, but a really nice job by breaking a tackle or 2 and grinding his way for a decent pickup. Logan Diener.
15.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No one over 4 yards, 5 yards off the ball. Man. And that is just, either they just trust their defensive pressure so much, or they trust their cover people so much. But normally you open yourself up to someone getting behind you, somebody getting down the field. But they also have seen Frankenmuth's passing game, and all the passes have been in the flat or screen. Right. So there's really no deep threat.
Tedford with a decent gain on first down. You know, if you're an offense and you recognize that, you always talk about how many guys are in the box, right? In that tackle box. And if you've got that many, are you going to run or are you going to pass? But when you see that many coming up, why aren't you taking a shot downfield?
You have to have something. And let it go here. Just, you see all the shirts. But it does, when everyone's so tight to line, as we were talking about earlier, it allows them to converge on this ball. So when the defense initial front is slowing them down, you get linebackers, safeties, everyone's there creating a pile defensively.
2nd and 7. Running to the left and a backside pressure. Kind of gave that away a little bit. Drew Heimbuch from the backside defensive end made the tackle.
Well, Drew Heimbuch does a great, okay, right here. He's going to come from the end, and he's going to chase this down from behind. Let it go. And this is just speed. He splits the gap, and that's what happens when you have receivers and running backs playing defensive end. The type of quickness. Wow, the tight end that time, he got beat. Ethan McNeil inside on that quick slant. Look at that. What a job. Let's look at his 6 foot, 195-pound senior running back defensive end.
Looks bigger than
high school football.
Yeah, looks bigger than that. Frankenmuth, that's the second time they've taken their right tackle, Derek Simmons, and moved him to the left side and kind of had that off-balance offensive line. Each time they've run that way, Notre Dame Prep has done a nice job of sniffing it out and stuffing it. A lot of tradition in Frankenmuth. Phil Martin knows that. He's embraced it for certain, and he made sure it continues each and every offseason. They call it the Great Stakeout. A week before their first scrimmage, the team and the coaches get together at a local park on the banks of the Cass River. This year, because of rain, it was forced to Heritage Park. And they really speak to each other, and they talk from the heart. Started back in 1980 by Ralph Munger, continues to this day. And they tell each other how they feel about one another, set some goals, have some fun, and make sure that they're all on the same page. And it's worked out pretty well this year to a 13-0 record. They need to come back here on a 3rd down and long. Nice run by Lavencer, and Lavencer all the way up to the 49-yard line. So Aiden Lavencer is a guy who has been asked to throw the ball a little bit, but he's running more than anything else. And today, on that run right there, he got close to a 1st down. Sets up 4th and manageable.
You got to go for it. You look at Aiden Lava Sr. He does such a nice job of getting something when nothing's there, Shep. And that time he did. It really wasn't blocked. This was just all ad-libbing on his part. But it gives him an opportunity on a 4th and 3. The bad news is this drive, they've had the entire second half.
Yeah.
They've taken almost 5 minutes off the clock, and they're not into midfield.
Need to get to the 48 of Notre Dame Prep. Labin Sr. gives to Cash Tedford. Look at DeCassis. Holy cow. He came out of nowhere to knock him down for a loss and prevent a 1st down run. Like he was shot out of a cannon.
We're going to look at number 24, Joey DeCassis. He shows some wonderful speed. He's going with the motion entire way in the backfield. You're going to see 24 in white come up, and that's just speed. And he does a great job of getting Tedford before he can get going.
That's a nice play, isn't it?
It is, and now you look at Notre Dame Prep going to take over on the plus side, the 50.
That's great recognition and speed. I mean, that's the one thing that, you know, Pat Fox has talked about with his defense. They're really good at recognizing schemes. Sam Stowe wants to throw an underneath route on a crossing route. He connects to Brody Sink. Second time that those two have played pitch and catch today.
Real quick, you're going to see a little pick play come in here, a little rub, let it go. You're going to see number 88, Waylon, the tight end. He's kind of off. He's going to come across, bump the linebacker, and opens it up. And, hey, it's only a pick play if you get caught.
Labin Sr. on the tackle. This time, a connection. Zachary Miller on the tackle
after the pitch and catch to Colin Whalen. Enough for a first down. Notre Dame Prep continues to move the chains pretty regularly. 3 wide receiver to the left and 2 wide receiver set to the right for Sam Stowe. Collins in motion. They'll run play action off it. Now find him out in the flat. Made man miss. Made 2 men miss. Got some shake inside the 30. Well done.
You want to see a seasoned quarterback, a guy that's ahead of the curve? Let's watch Sam Stowe. He looks left, he looks right, and then he dumps it to the flat.
Second and 1.
That's next level quarterbacking. When you can look off, you go through your couple reads, and then you just dump it in the flat when you realize nothing is there.
Now DeCassis lunges past the 25 for a first down run. Joey DeCassis made that play defensively to prevent the first down run on a 4th down and 2, and now moves the chains for his offense on the other side of the ball. Dynamic player, state qualifier in the long jump, and he just started long jumping last May. Sam Stowe stands tall, plenty of time across the middle, has his man Wiebelhaus inside the 15. Another first down throw for Sam Stowe to a wide receiver.
They have some really nice pass designs and pass concepts. You're going to see twins here. And what they're going to do is just going to run out, and they're going to come back underneath. And both receivers start out wide. And Wiebelhaus just comes back underneath to the soft zone in the middle. You widen the linebacker with your release, and as he gets out there, then you come back underneath, you sit down in the hole. Nice job by Sam Stowe seeing that as well.
It helps to have a lot of time to throw the football, too. His lineman is doing a great job.
That's a great point. He's had a wonderful time the entire day. And this is because you have to commit so many in coverage. You can't bring 6, 7 people in the pass rush because the receivers and talent downfield, they will hit you with a quick takeoff route or get behind you with your defense.
That offensive line has allowed just 8 sacks all year long. On the inside give. That is touchdown city for Notre Dame Prep. Drew Heimbuch pushing his way forward for the 8-yard touchdown run.
Well, they're going to see outside zone. Everyone's going to be stepping. Let it go. All the white shirts are going to get to the right. Just get outside, and then you allow your running back to find the area that he wants to attack. He creases it, and Heimbuch gets into the party as well this time. Good job getting into the end zone. They're spreading the wealth a little bit. This is they have talent, but this is a very well-coached team on both sides of the ball. The offense is, you see some play design that you understand concepts, why they're trying to do it, and it really stresses the defense. And this time, they haven't run the ball much. They haven't had to,
right,
but they show that they can. And the replay shows that he's probably going to be brought back maybe to about the 2-foot line.
It does stand as a touchdown for Drew Heimbuch. His 19th rushing touchdown of the year. The extra point is good. And Notre Dame Prep, for the first time today, doesn't use a big play to score 6. Instead, it's a conventional 8-yard lunge from the senior running back, Drew Heimbuch, to make it a running clock at Ford Field. Well, here we go. The big boys are ready to hunt at Ford Field. Marvin Rushing and Cass Tech are ready to square off against Hudsonville, led by Brent Sandy, for the Division I state championship game that soon follows here at Ford Field right around 7 o'clock with Rob Rubick, Natalie Nerwin, and yours truly. Looking forward to that. And that's the closest thing to a leprechaun we've seen here tonight.
You've never met my friend Matt.
Actually, I have met your friend Matt. I would never say that about Matt.
Well, here's the deal. He's from South Bend, and he's a huge Irish fan. That's why I threw him under the bus a little bit.
Oh, he's also vertically challenged, but we'll leave that out, right? 4:35 left to go in the third. We had mentioned running clock because Notre Dame Prep leads at 35-0 as they kick it off. And their special teams unit has been pretty darn good, too, bringing the hammer.
Here's the running clock rules. If one team is ahead by 35 points or more in the second half, the clock will continue to run. The only way you stop it is during a timeout, injury, penalty, or following a score.
You could have told me a lot of things were going to happen this weekend, but if you had told me that Frankenmuth and Notre Dame Prep would have a running clock in this game,
yeah, I didn't think so.
I would have called liar.
Bad day to be scarlet and gray today, huh?
Whoa, you worked in the Michigan dig. I love it. You're in the right state to do that.
They're going to throw it. And an out pattern caught. Leighton Horde connects. So Horde coming in, better thrower of the two quarterbacks. And he's able to connect with E.J. Bernthal.
Bernthal meets. As we saw in our stakeout. I think Shepard's going to get some residuals from some of these businesses in Frankenmuth for all the advertising he's been doing.
Natalie's got a free place to stay in Frankenmuth with a plate of chicken and mashed potatoes to go with it. It's second down and short. They'll set up the screen right side. This is Logan Diener with a nice catch and a nice run after the grab. Leighton Horde has completed a couple of passes in a row, and that moved the chains for Frankenmuth.
There's a late flag thrown over there. Could be a hold, but if it's a hold against the Muth, it's not going to destroy the whole play, and it's a spot foul.
Block in the back. Offense. 10 yards from the spot. Repeat the down.
Really, the only success that Frankenmuth's had in the passing game has been the screen game. And, and they're pretty good at it. You could see that if they had the ability to really run the ball today, when they start supplementing those screens in there, how that could really cause problems for defenses. But when you know you're up 35-0, you know they have to try to open it up. You can play off coverage defensively, as we're seeing Pontiac or Notre Dame Prep rather do. And it's just not as effective.
Second down and short.
And look at here. Look at the depth we're getting now compared to what we saw early on when they had 9, 10 up in the box.
Fumbled snap for Leighton Horde. But able to jumping all over it was Kobe Key. Moves the chains. Not exactly the way you draw it up, but Kobe Key will take the first down carry, if you will. Move the chains for Frankenmuth. First and 10 from their own 35. Leighton Horde, the junior, off play action. A downfield shot, and it's incomplete. No flag on the play, even though Christian Page was asking for one.
Defensive coverage by Drake Rowe.
Well, Drake Rowe was in coverage number 10. I know some of the crowd were in the red and the scarlet and gray, wanted a call, but that really, I disagree. I think that's a good no call by the official. The receiver that time was kind of falling down as he was trying to make the catch, and that was Christian Page, number 18. And I don't think he was impeded at all by the coverage. So good no call by the officials. Once again, doing a really fine job here today.
Page was moved from running back to wide receiver. He played tight end last year off the inside give, breaking a tackle and breaking free into Notre Dame Prep territory. A nice gallop by E.J. Bernthal.
Well, E.J. does a nice job when he gets this ball in a little jet motion. He doesn't keep going wide. He puts his foot in the ground, he sees a crease, and he takes advantage of it. Not every play is designed to try to bounce. When you're doing jet sweep, everything's, well, that's going to be a wide sweep. No, it's more of like a read for him that if he sees a crease, he can cut it up anywhere he wants, and he does a nice job. And really one of the best running plays of the day for Frankenmuth.
Billy Collins might have saved a touchdown run there. This time a connection from Horde to Page. Just a 4 or 5 yard out on first down.
Collins in on the stop.
Should be the final play of the third if they hurry.
Leighton Horde with an inside give. Turning up is Cash Tedford. Spun around after a gain of a couple. And we will head to the fourth. Notre Dame Prep had 4 touchdowns in the opening half. The lone touchdown in the third quarter. And they're up 35 as we head for the final stanza at Ford Field in the Division 5 state championship clash.
This special presentation of the MHSAA Football Finals is brought to you by Trinity Health. We see all of you. And by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Well, when Notre Dame Prep walked in earlier today, they were all wearing matching T-shirts. They wanted to come in with some swag, and if you take a close look, it says the word Riser on the front. Well, I had to ask the coaches, okay, what's the meaning behind this? What does Riser mean? They said it has been our motto all year. It's actually after a Zach Bryan song. He's a famous country singer I'm sure you guys have heard of. The song Heading South. There's a couple of lines in that song, 2 of them. We'll start with the first one. The first one is, boys, we've got a riser in our midst, and don't stop heading south is the famous line in that one. Basically to them it means, hey, you know what? We've been on the rise all season long. We want to be here. It's been our dream to get to Ford Field, and we just had to head south down 75 to get here.
Kind of hoping you would sing that, not just say that, Natalie.
Am
just
I allowed to sing?
Of course you are.
Yeah,
come on. I mean, you know. With your voice, absolutely. You may just stop play for a moment. Everybody take their helmet off, turn and look.
Rubes, would you help me harmonize?
Oh, no, you don't want that. Hold on now.
Well, there's 2 Rubes up here. The one is very good, would do a great job, Olivia. Me, on the other hand, I sound like I'm trying to sound bad when I sing on purpose.
Olivia would do it.
Natalie, let's put it this way. We don't take Rubes karaoke anymore.
No.
Oh, I need to see a night out with that.
No, you don't.
No, you
I
don't.
do.
No, you do not.
What's your go-to song, Rob?
House of the Rising Sun by the Animals.
Dear God.
Boy, how appropriate is that?
Shep, you got one?
I don't. I know my limitations. There's a flag on the play. That's interference. Drake Roa on the coverage, trying to stay with Christian Page.
Yeah, you know, and it's the same matchup we saw going the other way right before the end of the quarter, but this time, as the ball was coming down, you see I'm over here tossing the flag, thinking that was interference. So I think the back judge has done a really nice job. That time he did hinder Roa, hindered Page trying to make the completion. It was a little bit early to contact.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, result of the first down.
We're going to better look here on the replay. Just kind of draping on him. You see the body lean on him. That back arm is pushing a little bit. Man, but geez, if you didn't have that right arm on the back, what a great job of locating the ball and putting your hand in front by Drake Roa. Man, is there anywhere this team's not good? They can cover.
Great question.
They can catch. They can run. They can block. It's pretty much football 101.
Move the ball to the 23-yard line. Bounce into the outside. And a nice run on first down for Chase Tedford.
Well, you made a reference about the scarlet and gray earlier, Shep. Wait, what else? Who else has had a tough day in scarlet and gray? I don't know. What, did I miss something?
No, you were watching it right there with me. You know all about it.
Wow. It's amazing how you put a game like that on, how you can take 15 people up in a booth that their heads are all about 3 inches away from the TV screen.
Right. Congratulations to Sharon Moore and his team. That's an incredible win.
And how about congratulations to Michael Wiebelhaus there, number 16, coming up and filling and stopping the running back just short of the first down and puts him into a 3rd down and short situation. Christian Page, there's a look at him, kind of hobbled a little bit.
And as we mentioned, Page, former running back, actually played tight end last year. So played all 3 of those skilled positions on the offense. Stays in the backfield with Leighton Horde crawling under center. On a 1st and 10, split backfield behind Horde, and the give right side. Tough yards to the 10-yard line, courtesy of Kobe Key. He's carried it more than anybody else for Frankenmuth today.
Our field mic was picking up. What were they saying? Something Virginia? It's coming from the Frankenmuth side. The coaches, an audible that time was set up because they went from one formation and then they switched and then they just ran veer. Maybe I'm thinking veer for Virginia.
Yeah, or Virginia's for lovers, something like that.
No, Matt V. They both begin with the letter V. Never mind.
2nd down and 8.
Wow.
Horde again keeps it this time to the outside, touchdown. Leighton Horde gets Frankenmuth on the board.
Well, this is what you want to see. This is going to be the veer. When it comes here, Horde's going to ride it. He's going to read the 5-tech, taking the back, and he's just going to get around the edge. Watch it, number 8. He comes after the attack the back. You pull it, you get the edge, and that's what we thought we'd see a lot of today. This is one of the first times that Notre Dame Prep wasn't in position when the quarterback pulled the dive.
Levin Sr. on for the extra point. Good snap by Owen Bierlein, and Hagen Washer with a hold. And Leighton Horde caps off a 12-play, 76-yard drive to get his team on the board in the state championship game. Join us tomorrow for matinee hockey. The Red Wings host the Vancouver Canucks at Little Caesars Arena. Red Wings Live with John Keating kicks off our coverage, and then Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond have the call just after 12:30 p.m. Red Wings and Canucks tomorrow from LCA. The job Dylan Larkin has done so far this year. Tough dude, man. Hoping things trend up for the Red Wings moving forward. Tough division, tough conference. Let's hope they can buckle down defensively. It lost one the other night and a 1-goal setback.
Yep, prepare for the onside kick. They do a little starburst, but let's see now. They can still, if they want an onside kick, they still can, but you see all the bodies in white up close.
There it is. And it's fielded by, I believe it's DeCassis up front there. Let's see who comes at the bottom of the pile. Joey DeCassis had himself a day, man.
Well, you put in the good hands, people, up front. And this time, I think that's Josh Lohr, number 22, actually.
It is, you're right.
It's going to come up with the ball. And they were ready for this. It really another really good onside kick. We did a game yesterday that the onside kick was really good. If it wasn't well defended, it could have been recovered. It's really like a kind of a last gasp by Frankenmuth trying to recover that. So now Pontiac Notre Dame Prep is going to have the short field. And
that's not an easy kick to field, so good job by Josh Lohr. I mean, you could see that he got it on a short hop, almost like he's a shortstop. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame Prep. Sam Stowe has had himself a nice day. 4 touchdown passes already today. Brings a man in motion, and the give. And rumbling forward, breaking through a tackle. This is Drew Heimbuch down the sideline. That's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. That's a quick answer.
Well, put that up with your shortest drives of the day, Shep. You've had some quickies, and that's another one, and Drew Heimbuch does a nice job. This time it's actually defended pretty well. There's some red jerseys get hands on them. Right here you see a dive and then a couple of strips of arm tackles, and Drew Heimbuch does the rest. Now, that's a defensive end, by the way, running the football. And that just shows you when you got players like that, athletes, and you can put them in the backfield or the defensive end position, it can make a job like Pat Fox has quite a bit easier.
20 rushing touchdowns on the year for the senior Drew Heimbuch, and the extra point is good. So Frankenmuth felt like they had a little something going offensively, right? They felt pretty good about themselves because they finally got on the board. 1 play later, Notre Dame Prep says, I got you. Let's trump this and move on. It's 42-7.
Back at Ford Field, where Notre Dame Prep has increased their lead to 42-7, and this is why. Number 5 in the backfield in white. Let's watch. He's going to head up the middle, and you're going to freeze it right here. Now let's watch the linebackers. We're going to see over pursuing a little bit here, and he's going to cut back against the grain, and that's, like I said, that's a defensive end. A couple of missed arm tackles, and number 5 shows for a defensive end, he's pretty fleet of foot.
I'd take him. He's done it offensively and defensively today.
That 50-yard sprint from Drew Heimbuch was his longest run of the season. It had been 37 yards. It is now 50 yards, and it puts his team back in front by 35. Fielded at the 15-yard line. And Tedford driven out of bounds at the 31.
And now a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Now, during Black Friday, AZ Plan trading lessees can lease a 2024 Escape for $279 a month for 24 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
You have arrived.
Oh, I tell you what, the 7 years of college was no waste. What really makes it funny, it was, because I was in the NFL, I went back my first and third years to finish my degree. I wasn't John Belushi, I was a little bit better than him.
Wait till we get the next read, the little engine that could. Aiden Levin Sr. with a throw and an incomplete toss.
Pass intended for E.J.
It was intended for E.J. Bernthal. Clock will continue to run because the difference is now 35 points in the second half again.
Second down and 10.
These are such tough spots for the team that's on the downside of the scoreboard right now, 42-7. They've had an incredible season. Don't lose sight of that. 13-0. Just an incredible year for so many of these players, but ran into a really good Notre Dame Prep team that has been amongst the best in the state all season long. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Who else?
Wow.
Drew Heimbuch. He's taken over as player of the game.
You know, we saw some good two-way players yesterday. The Burnett running back from Goodrich, and now you see Drew Heimbuch coming in here making huge plays on both sides of the football, and that is what speed can do. I mean, he's undersized for a defensive end, granted, but when you have that type of quickness, that type of explosion, you're going to see him come all the way from the left side of the screen, number 5 in white, and that's just great adjustment too, because that's what it's nice having those athletes. Sometimes when quarterbacks make that little dip to you or something and you run by him, not Heimbuch, he was ready.
Second sack of the day, 9th sack of the year. Tedford broke a couple of tackles and reaches close to the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Mark Galle. Safety coming up. Late flag on the play. One of the few ways to stop a running clock is just that, a penalty. A score or a timeout are others.
So what do we got coming up next, Shep? Are we heading home, or do we get another one?
We got the Division I state championship.
Yes, we do.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, 52. Half the distance to the goal. Fourth down.
We got the big boys coming up.
That'll be Cass Tech against Hudsonville in the final game of the weekend.
Yeah, really, two of the coaches that I really enjoyed talking to, Marvin Rushing always for Cass Tech, and then Brent Sandy for Hudsonville, two guys that have done unbelievable things with their program, and we'll talk a little bit when we get into that game, Shep, but after you talk to them, some of the things that they not just coach, how they teach young men how to be quality young men, and we'll get into that later on. But right now, once again, Frankenmuth just stopped. Penalty.
No one was back to return the punt, so Levin Sr. just calmly, after fumbling for a moment, just kind of bounces it inside the 35-yard line, and a good punt for the senior punter.
And no panic. Laba Sr. drops the ball. He picks it up. He gets that nice end over end, and with the turf, you get 15, 20, 25 yards of roll. But it's never good when one of the highlights of your game is a punt. That is not a good thing. And Laba Sr., he'll be the first to tell you that. Had a couple nice runs here in the second half. Didn't see a lot of action in the first half due to the fact that they got down early and got down big and were forced to try to throw the ball, which isn't in his repertoire as much as Horde's.
Roman Cherfoil is in at quarterback for Notre Dame Prep, the 6'2", 170-pound senior. Wears 6 in white.
Look at the spread here and here. This tells me that means they're gonna run it right in here. They're gonna spread you out a lot and just probably run the ball up the middle. You know, people wonder why they're taking their time. They're just running the play clock down.
Yeah. They'll run it. And spun around shy of the 35. Menards brings you the big money moment. Can't help but wonder, Rubes, if, you know, there are turning points in every game.
Oh,
how early was this a turning point when Cash Tedford tried to change hands with football, sprinting down the left sideline, couldn't do it, fumbled it away. Notre Dame Prep then took advantage, an 87-yard screen touchdown, and they were off and running from there.
Instead of going up 7-0, you're down 7-0. So it becomes a 14-point swing. And then you look at this game now, obviously in the big picture, it probably didn't really matter as much. But at that time, that was a huge swing in emotions. I'm not a momentum guy, as you know, Shep, but I am an emotion guy and a confidence guy, and it really hurt both for Frankenmuth.
Then a little bit later on, off a fake punt, Frankenmuth couldn't take advantage.
Ball start. Offense. 5 yards. Second down.
Frankenmuth tried a fake punt. It didn't work. And Notre Dame Prep took advantage shortly thereafter and traveled 23 yards for a touchdown in just 6 seconds. And then it was, you know, trying to play catch up after that was really challenging for Frankenmuth. And thus the 42-7 lead right now with under 4 minutes to go. It's second down and 15 after the penalty. Trefoil keeps it himself. And he's run over by a couple of Frankenmuth Eagles. Frankenmuth is going to finish 13-1. And even though they have been here before in 2020 against Grand Rapids Catholic Central, coming up short there, 2022 against Gladwin, and failing to finish the deal, the same will happen here today against Notre Dame Prep. A lot to be proud of. They've won 5 straight regional championships, but the ultimate goal eludes them for another year. Four wide receiver set for Notre Dame Prep. Roman Trefoil's going to throw it. Now he's going to roll with it. And keep it himself. Try to stay in bounds and be run out of bounds. Doesn't matter. The clock continues to run. At the 23-yard line, they'll punt it away.
A lot of celebrating going down Perry Road, which better known as Business at 24, down in north side of Pontiac, where Notre Dame Prep is located. Wasn't it at one time Pontiac Catholic?
It was.
Back in the day? I think back when I was living in that area with the Lions, it was known as Pontiac Catholic. Former Detroit Lions Scott Kolakowski, both of his daughters attended Notre Dame Prep, actually really good volleyball players. Dominic Riola's son,
who's now at Nebraska.
Right.
Off the punt, Tedford looking for a block. And down the sideline, stays in bounds to the 40-yard line. Good attempt on the tackle by the quarterback, Roman Trifoli, but couldn't bring him down. And a good return by Chase Tedford.
Hey, we look at Notre Dame Prep. Another one of the big reasons that they've had the success they've had, besides obviously having some talent, is they've been the beneficiary of really good field position that their defense and their special teams have allowed them. Their average starting spot has been their own 41-yard line, Chef. So when you start in the 41, you're just like 2 first downs ahead of where most teams normally start. So that's a advantage, and just another one of the things they've done so well here today.
Just a few more plays in all likelihood for Frankenmuth. Well, Notre Dame Prep is going to celebrate their first ever football state championship in their first ever trip to the finals. Their defense has been overlooked. So much has been made of their offense and the 42 points per game, the 50 points per game in the playoffs, but it really was Pat Fox's defense that dialed up the pressure, dialed up the squaring up tackles and things of that nature, all the right moves made by this defense
to really shine here, stopping a very good offensively gifted Frankenmuth team. And not many were better than that kid right there, Drew Heimbuch. He was awesome. Frankenmuth's not going to run another play. What a night for Pat Fox. He says his best players are his best students. Today, they're the best team in the state of Michigan in Division 5. Notre Dame Prep, celebrate it. You've earned it. A state championship for the first time ever.
Eagles from Frankenmuth 7.
Great game, fellas. Great play, second time. Nice shot, fellas. Great game, fellas. Great shot, fellas. Nice shot, fellas.
The Players of the Game is brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and they're not always easy, Shep, but I think this one was. It started and finished with number 15, Sam Stowe. Now, he had some help from his friends. You look at Billy Collins getting one here. We saw Wiebelhaus get one, and he was spreading the wealth around the field. And there's another one of Billy Collins. And when you can spread the ball like that, stand in the pocket, have protection, it's a team award, obviously, he's going to probably tell us, but we're going to single him out. He was what we highlighted in the open, and he definitely lived up to everything we talked about.
42-7 the final. Again, this offense for Notre Dame Prep has scored a minimum of 28 points in every single game. They were a little bit below their postseason average, but they did just about anything that they wanted. The school record continued. It's the best state or best team in school history with their 12th win. And Natalie Nerwin's got a couple of the stars for Notre Dame Prep with her. Natalie?
Hey, I have Billy Collins, Drew Heimbuch with me. Guys, congratulations. You started this game with the first score, and you never looked back. Just take in the moment. You guys are state champions. Is there a better feeling than this?
I don't think so. No, definitely not.
What's going through your head?
I mean, we really worked for it, and you know, Coach Fox helped us out the whole time, and like I just, you know, I can't imagine a better moment. We went through a lot this season. We worked through some challenges, and you know, it feels nice that we earned this. You know.
Billy, I'm going to start with you. You took that 87-yarder to the house. Did you know you could take it all the way? I mean, how much of a tone setter was that?
I mean, we put that play in practice at the beginning of the week, and I knew that it was going to be a huge play for us, and I was so excited to run it, and that set the tone for the rest of the game, and that was just huge and amazing moment for me.
A lot of offensive firepower, each of you with 2 touchdowns apiece. How did you get things going from the start?
We just got to trust our coach's game plan and execute, and if things don't go our way, you know, we just got to stick to it and power through, and, you know, we just believe in our coaches and who we are as players, and we believe if we play our game, nobody can stop us.
And the defense holding them to just 7 points. I mean, you guys came up clutch, too. You had good plays on that side of the ball as well. Tell me about that group.
Well, our defense has been the heart of our team this whole year. You know, people have doubted our defense. We're obviously not the biggest team, but we've battled through adversity, and we've worked hard to become one of the best defenses in the state, if not the best defense in the state.
And you sure showed it today. Congratulations, guys. First state championship in school history. How about it?
Thank you. That's great. Awesome.
Shep?
They may not be big, but they are tough, man. There's no doubt about it. They played a tough schedule. They earned their trip here to Ford Field, and more importantly, they earned their school's first ever state championship. They beat Frankenmuth 42-7. Coming up next, the final game of the weekend, the Division I state final featuring Cass Tech and Hudsonville. You don't want to miss it. Join Natalie Nerwin, Rob Rubick, and me, and the rest of our crew